What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Crimson Lounge. Back at it again with another episode of Primordial's Bounty. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hola.
Hello there.
Yes, back at it again. Clyde will not be with us because he is going through a bit of a big thunderstorm where he's at. He doesn't have any power. We're wishing him that he is safe. And he comes back to us next session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, how's everybody else's couple of weeks?
Training, but alive.
We're not going to talk about it.
Not gonna talk about it, okay. Good to know.
Down, 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 down. Just Vietnam, 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Fair enough. Very much fair enough. Yeah, nothing on my side of things. Everything's been the same, honestly. However, my IRL group might be facing a TPK here soon.
Oh, wonderful.
Good.
Yeah. Apparently, we're in a town infested with people that are infected with mind flayers.
You're all good.
What are you talking about? This is a perfectly normal dog. Dog that's just a brain with legs.
On top of that, we're trying to break. There's a tournament that's in the. There's like this big tournament that's in this city that we're in right now, and their main champion is like this unhinged abomination that was grafted with many different parts to make it a killing machine. And our plan is to let it out and wreak havoc on the city.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm thinking about it now. I don't know why we're doing it though.
Now
the worst part is
it was
it was my suggestion, and I can't remember why.
I know why. Magic.
Yeah, magic. Good answer. I think it was like something to like distract the town guard as we go do something or whatever. Or we let the town guard kill the champion so that way one of our party members doesn't have to face him in the final rounds of this tournament that he's in.
Kill the competition before they get there.
Yeah, because it's a no-brainer. The fucking competition is rigged.
Just tech it.
Just check it.
Look, just aim low, knock him off, and then command grab.
All I'm saying is, if we end up running a TPK, I know what my next character is going to be. It's going to be a Warforged with a intellect devourer for a brain.
So a mech.
Yeah, it's going to be a warlock with the pact of the great old one.
I knew you would.
Oh no!
An intellect devourer in a mech. I knew you would come around to my way of thinking eventually.
The Flash is weak.
You are strong in the ways of the machine, but you are not a tech priest yet.
The praise be to the Omnisire. Gosh dang it.
But anyways, let's go ahead and get on with the recap, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
When last we left our crew, Zilyana the Succubus Witch, Starzin the Lalafell Artificer, Sips the Slimefolk Monk, and Tide the Water Genasi Jaeger. After the raid on Everpeak, Starzin confided in Iris, the Vazorn Rogue, revealing that Tide was part of the militia responsible for burning down his village, yet was also the one responsible for saving his life. Iris, however, noticed something off with the story. Why would the Tempest militia, known for banning the use of fire, use it during a raid, supposedly targeting Phoenix Kingdom soldiers, who are resistant to fire? Her suspicions led to an intense conversation with Tide that led to her threatening him if Starzin commands it. That night, both Starzin and Tide were plagued with nightmares of the village raid, with new details surfacing. Glimpses of a soldier killing another in the distance, and a strange necklace worn on one, a sword with an eye on the crossguard. The following morning, the crew gathered for breakfast and spoke with Rilzira, the drow astrologian, about escorting her to the Temple of Fiane, the goddess of magic and nature. Before leaving, they were approached by the Ocean Knights of Everpeak and asked to warn nearby villages of potential blight attacks. The crew agreed and split into 2 teams. Gaines, Verakus, Akane, and Harvey head to Evermist, while Iris, Metra, Chakraeus, and Jovnung head to Everfrost. Meanwhile, the main group ventures into the Everglow Forest, enchanted by the glowing pines and peaceful atmosphere, until they realize they've been traveling in a circle. A druid elk woman in league with Gormash has been manipulating the path. Soon after, the party was attacked by blight creatures as the druid watched. Though they won the battle, the druid deemed them too dangerous to ignore and summoned enormous tree blights to hunt them down. With Zilyana calling forth giant spiders to aid in their escape, the crew fled the forest. Now outside the Everglow woods, with the looming danger of the forest behind them, the question remains. What do you guys want to do?
Man.
Oh,
Man.
what the fuck do we do?
Well, normally the only option I would say is just burn it down and start over. But that's not an option.
I mean, the burn it down part's already over with.
Not a real.
I'm making it.
God.
What?
Now all we have to do is burn down this forest. You can't be serious. No, Zilyana in the back with a blowtorch. Oh.
Yeah, sure.
I was mainly meaning the towns already burned down. They can start over.
Yeah,
They can start.
no, the first part is I knew where he was going. I knew he was
Yeah,
referencing the
exactly.
village.
Village already burned down. It can start over now.
Fucking, we do the One Piece route and blow up an entire island.
I mean, it is an option.
Somebody got that buster call ready?
We just have to find an explosive yield large enough.
Oh,
We got a
boss,
Buster
there's something worse than the Buster Call in the later manga and anime. I won't tell you it.
By it.
You've already been spoiled by it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
Thank the internet.
When it comes to spoilers, I don't give a fuck. If it happens, it happens. I'm dead inside anyways.
Jeez. Sounds like me.
Welcome to the internet.
So you guys are on the outskirts of the Everglow Forest, on top of giant spiders, and after a bit, as you guys, take in a deep breath, realizing that you escaped out of the forest, Rilzira basically both out of fear gets off the giant spider and crawl a good distance away, and then promptly upchucks her breakfast due to all the poison that was in her system from the blight attack with those mushrooms.
Oopsies.
Yep.
Ty, just exhausted from doing all that running and dashing, just flops his back onto the ground on the snow, just panting, and goes, "Anyone got a plan B?" Realistic ASMR vomiting.
I swear, I'm never gonna eat another mushroom again. Oh.
Never gonna eat another mushroom.
Which, by the way, your spiders are still up. She is keeping her distance away from the spiders.
Starzin will get down from the spider and walk over to her and just carefully examine her to see if she's still poisoned.
Roll me a medicine check.
You got it.
You got it, Haas.
I got you, homie. Got you. That is a 7, my friend. I got nothing.
She'll be fine. She's puking it all out.
She'll eventually be fine.
Eventually.
Alright, so she'll just be... So for my 7, she's just gonna be fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm still gonna walk over to her and just kind of make sure she's... not in any worse shape.
Roll me an insight check.
Oh boy. Let's see if I can fail this roll. Ready to be blind this session. Nope, that's an 18.
Aha!
Uh-huh.
Aha!
Huh.
So, yes, you go ahead and you walk up to her. After she's done throwing up her breakfast, she basically is looking over at Zilyana next to her spiders, and you understand the telltale signs of PTSD.
So it's not even arachnophobia, it's just straight up PTSD.
Well, a little bit of both.
You know what? Fair enough. He's gonna turn and look at Zilyana and say, "Hey, Cap, do you think you could desummon the spiders?"
I want to look around and make sure we're safe first before I do that. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and give you this one for free. You look around, you're definitely in the clear, especially considering how you guys, despite on the map, it looks like you're right up against the forest. You're a good distance away to where if there was trouble, you would be able to spot it.
Alright. Then yeah, I'll go ahead and make Spooters go bye-bye.
And as they disappear, you see that Real Zira basically calms down a lot more. Still a little bit intense with the events that happen in the forest, but she's a lot calmer now. As she looks up, it's like, thank you. Sorry, it's just bad. There's been a lot of bad times in the Underdark when it comes to spiders and those who use spiders.
Well, I may not understand the full. I can at least understand the whole bad memories with all that. Never experienced it quite that way, but well, I'm pretty sure you saw how bad I was during the whole village burning and stuff. So,
I mean, I guess I kind of showed up a little bit late. When you guys were fighting those blights.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, and I guess what I'm saying is I can tell those telltale signs of some PTSD, I guess is the best way to put it. Are you all right otherwise?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just I'm probably gonna need some time to adjust to your captain using the spiders for a bit. Yeah, it's just not that common to see people use spiders up here compared to the Underdark, so it threw me off a little bit.
That's understandable. It was, I guess you could say that whole debacle is a story for another time, but I think at this point we should probably try to get back to Everpeak and start coming up with a new plan.
Yeah.
Can you walk?
Yeah, I can walk. I can walk just fine. Thank you, though.
All right. If you start to feel anything relating to that poison, just let me know.
I actually feel a lot better now. I guess the poison was temporary. Then again, I inhaled a lot of the spores, so I'm feeling a lot better now.
Well, that's good at least.
Alright.
At this point, Ty does get back up and just... So, we take this moment. What's our plans now? We can't exactly go straight in anymore, unless we'll be doing roundabouts again, like 4.
Let's just focus on getting back to Everpeak first before we can make a new plan, because something tells me this isn't exactly going to be a incident where we can just rush in blindly going forward.
I agree.
So, you guys go ahead and start making your way to Everpeak. By the time you arrive there, it would be nighttime at this point. You definitely see that people are trying to get into rebuilding some of the houses, trying to expand the area a little bit more, make it to where people can live in multiple houses instead of one, instead of the few that were remaining at that point. It's coming somewhat along. The guards are definitely more vigilant than ever, keeping an eye out near the forest entrance area, while some of them are helping with organizing construction by directing the civilians on where they need to go, what needs to be done, and helping along the way.
Alright. Yeah.
So, I guess the question is, what do you guys want to do?
That's a even better question. I guess if you guys want me to, I can go to the Ocean Knights and tell them about what's going on.
I mean, I was actually thinking about going over to them and asking them for more information about how they've been dealing with the forest and such. Remind me again. The forest is under bless or protection of the which god again?
The forest is blessed by the goddess of nature and magic, Fiane.
Fiane. Okay.
Basically, her forest was a gift to the people on this side. Essentially, one of her blessings that she gave, considering that she is both the goddess of magic and nature.
But right now, the forest is repelling against us and working with this rogue druid.
Well, we don't know if the forest itself is working with them, as the thing.
Fair.
There's
definitely something going on.
Yeah, it very well could just be corrupted, and that's honestly the angle I'm leaning towards, but, I mean, I could easily be proven wrong, too.
True.
And, we currently have information that most of the Leviathan Empire has stayed at the edge and never went inwards, correct?
Okay, so they're allowed to go in. They're just not allowed to expand. They're basically not allowed to colonize or expand land ownership by cutting down the trees and stuff like that. They're allowed to go in and hunt and do stuff like that if it is deemed necessary. They're just not allowed to expand property.
I gotcha. So they can adventure, go in, do scouting and hunting, but the only thing they can't do is they just can't expand territory into it.
Correct. And only those that are given the blessing by a priest or those who are the followers of Fiane are allowed to go further into the forest to reach the temple.
Yeah, so blessed individuals can reach the center towards the temple, but otherwise they kind of just get blocked out.
Also, temple is now guarded.
Or being occupied, at least.
Being occupied.
Or maybe it's just fine and they're just being POSs about it, just playing us like fiddles.
That's how I've been back guarded. They're it's enemies to us, and we're just like
Fair enough.
seeing what we can do.
Although you do know that the reason why you guys are getting blocked out is because of the druid.
Yeah.
We know that,
And-
yeah. But
And you also know that the druid is in league with Gormash and have a pirate captain.
in league with this. Yeah, they're part of the crew that Gormash is a part of.
Correct.
We know that there's those two, an unknown pirate captain, and we do know that they seem to have some affinity with nature to some degree.
Some very interesting affinities.
But yeah, what I was gonna go do is just go to the guards and press them for more information.
Okay. You walk up to one of the guards. They go ahead and, you're back. That was quite fast. Did you have a hard time getting through the forest?
You
Could say that.
Ty just nods. Yeah.
We ran into another individual that seems to affiliate themselves with Gormash, the individual who came and tried to burn Everpeak to the ground. They said that they were purposefully manipulating the forest to bring us around in a circle. Druidic magic, obviously, but they also seemed to allow more and more blights to come forth while we were in there, even creating a new fungal type of blight.
From what I'm going to, I think it's best to guess that she's the one that's able to create the blights and gave Gormash his prosthetics.
That could be the case, but we don't know enough. We don't know enough to say for certain. She could be just creating them.
No, I think she is the one creating them and making all the adjustments to Gormash and his creatures. Remember, I tried to shoot her and it just splintered. It was almost like if she was made of wood herself.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that she's directly behind it, though. That could just mean that there is some other person, like perhaps this captain of theirs, or there is some other force that's already corrupted them, and she's just another pawn in that scheme.
Well, regardless, we can't get into the forest.
Can you
try going in
Can
and-
you go ahead? Can you explain what these fungal creatures are, so that way we can better equip ourselves just in case if they start coming through here and attacking?
Tide will start explaining the fungal creatures and their descriptions of behaviors and pretty much what they've been so far, what he saw that they can do. Spew poison, explode poison when hit, and even expunge poison when they're poisonous pollen when they're hit, and explode in a poisonous cloud when dead, when, killed.
Starzin also mentions that fire is unfortunately the only way to prevent them from spreading it when they are hit.
You don't see it because he's wearing a helmet, but there's a little bit of a wince. Alright, well, in that case, then we'll make sure to have the Gale Archers target those creatures and have our knights focus on the other creatures. This information will definitely do us some good. Sorry if I can't really be much help. Viane in the forest is not really our jurisdiction, per se.
Then whose is it?
Well, that would be priests of Viane. They would know more about the ins and outs of the forest than we would.
Okay. Do you know where we could find a priest? Anything?
Let me go ahead and talk to the captain real fast and see if I can gather any information. As I walk away to go get my dice.
Ah, yes, the ultimate guard captain, Dice.
Captain Random Luck?
Captain Rando.
I shuddered when he approached our party of gagglefucks. His voice clacking like plastic-sided cubes.
Say plastic-sided pubes?
Cubes. I said cubes.
Oh. I was like, what?
Plastic-sided cubes.
I'm sorry.
Okay, serious talk about what would that sound like?
No, that's not a serious talk. That's something I don't want to even think about.
Alright, I got a die. Let's go ahead and see what information he gathers. Alright, so after a good few minutes, the Ocean Knight comes back to you and says, okay, so based off of what my captain told me, despite the fact that we are so close to the Everglow Forest and to the temple, there's really not that many priests that are in the nearby villages. However, there was one that he remembers living in the village of Frostgate.
Yeah. So it sounds like to get more information, we would have to go to Frostgate, if they're still there at least.
That's a bit of a quite detour.
Well, if we're gonna get to the bottom of this, and most importantly get Rosira to the temple, we're gonna have to go there to get some information. And who knows? Maybe this priest actually might know more about this than any of us would. I mean, certainly more than the Ocean Knights, because well, as he said, this isn't their jurisdiction.
I was waiting for you to say, because they're fucking useless.
I was debating it.
If you would have said that, I would have had him say, hey, come on now. We're doing our best.
I was debating it.
Man, even how soft his tone is about it proves it.
Based off the look of them, you get the sense that they're pretty low ranking.
So just them.
So they're green.
Got it.
Kind of, yeah. Yes, especially considering that their commanding officer was killed in that raid, so the next person in charge was placed in its stead, and basically they were a rank underneath.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't feel bad for talentless guards.
Jesus.
It's a guardsman's life for us.
Damn. So, to give you an idea on essentially what their rank is right now, like, they're considered petty officers, essentially.
So barely even considered an officer in terms of, like, actual hierarchy.
Quick question. With my old military rank, would they be the same level? Would I be the same level, lower, or higher than theirs?
When you were a part of your squadron at the time, I would definitely say you were a rank above them. You would be a captain.
Okay.
With your leader with the person that was in charge of it being a lieutenant.
Alright. I may have an idea of something. If they have the resources right now for it. We don't have any rides to get to Frostgate fast, right?
Wait, I think I got these mixed up. I think you would be lieutenant and your commanding officer would be captain.
Ah, no, that makes more sense, yeah.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense. Captain is
I remember you talk about the
higher.
Captain of Dreams now, yeah.
Yeah, captains would be ranked higher than lieutenants.
You might be
why.
the backstory a little.
Well, regardless, I don't know why. I always think that lieutenant is bigger than captain.
Well, lieutenants are considered high up there. The thing is that that's kind of the point where, in my knowledge, especially from people who I know have actually served and been in the military, that's kind of the point where they kind of stop going farther, or after that it kind of starts turning into, like, I guess you turn into more of like a desk chair officer kind of thing.
And some
You
of the
turn
people
to a
don't
desk
like
jockey?
being.
And some people-
don't like being at the desk.
Yeah, because realistically, at that point, you're dealing with a literal shit ton of just paperwork and stuff like that.
And more responsibilities than you signed up with to begin with.
Yeah,
you know what?
and most of the time, they don't want to deal with that because everything they've gone through up to that point is pain enough.
You know what? Because one of you guys it was part of the military, I can go ahead and give the listing of the ranks right now to get that out of the way.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Hey, it's me again. So, I'm cutting in because I want to go ahead and explain the military ranking a little bit better than how I explained it in the episode. It wasn't as detailed, and it was very sporadic in the way of me explaining it, so I'm going to condense it down to make it a lot easier to understand. So, there are essentially 4 tiers of ranking. We have the Wave Knights, the Ocean Knights, the Sea Knights, and the Abyss Knights. And each one has their own unified ranking as well. They go from Seaman First Class, to Petty Officers, to Ensigns. Ocean Knights go from Lieutenant, to Commander, to Captain. Sea Knights go from Commodore, Rear Admiral, and Vice Admiral. And Abyss Knights go from Admiral to Fleet Admiral. And because I didn't explain it in the video itself, I will go ahead and explain it as well. The Gale Archers also have a similar ranking as well, with the exact same rank and file for each tier. So the first tier are the Wind Archers, then it will be the Gale Archers, and then the Mistral Archers, and then lastly the Sky Archers. With the exact same thing, Seaman First Class, Petty Officer, Ensign, Lieutenant, Commander, Captain, Commodore, Rear Admiral, Vice Admiral, Admiral, and Fleet Admiral. Again, I wanted to cut in just because I wanted to explain the whole ranking system and the titles for each of the Knights and Archers to better flesh out the world a little bit more than how I was doing it in the episode. So, hope you guys enjoyed that.
So the reason why I asked this is because I wanted to see if I can use my background feature, military rank. That as long as my former rank was higher influence or authority than, the others, I could ask for certain favors and so forth. And one of them I wanted to see was that if they have any horses or available transports that they're willing to borrow.
Well, alright. Not really. That was kind of the reason why they asked you to help in the matter of, with the help of getting information to Ever Mist and Ever Frost, because of lack of transportation.
Okay.
Basically, Gormash aimed for the horses as well.
Aim for the carriages and horses. Got it.
Yeah,
nobody
was supposed to be leaving.
cut them off.
Yeah, nobody was leaving. That was his goal.
Okay. Fair enough. I also thought the reason why was because, the building, the town's kind of under construction now, needs bear protection. They're not willing to lose manpower for that. But fair enough, that's also true. They
are undermanned to begin with, and in terms of the fact that these are all, relatively green soldiers, chances are they really, really can't afford to spare anyone.
Yeah.
Since they're lacking in the experience category, anyway.
Well, other than that...
realistically, it would probably be about a 2-3 day trek to Frostgate, so... Realistically, we could probably...
It's the real problem.
Well, I'm not really thinking that far ahead, because chances are, if things become a problem by that point, they were going to go to shit anyway at some point. It was just a matter of time.
Mm.
You gotta remember, we're in a situation where we're dealing with, so far, an unknown pirate captain, a druid with blights, and a psychotic barbarian who are chomping at the bit to cause mayhem and slaughter. and or capture people. So chances are, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's fair enough. You know what, I just want to ask one more question, just so to see if I could at least salvage something of an idea. So, is it too prudent to see if they have any information that there might be a station of Wave or Ocean Knights in
I apologize.
in Frostgate? If so, my request is that they create a letter or something. Someone create a letter. The one person with the next highest rank in the situation, with their signature, maybe even a stamp of officialization of requisition of transport, quick back to here, as well as maybe some supplies. Yeah.
Yeah, he can definitely ask his commanding officer to do that. So he will go ahead and get a signing, a letter of recommendation, saying, "Hey, these guys are on the up and up. They're here to help with the current events that happen in Everpeak, stuff like that."
We give them permission to requisition transport.
Yep.
So,
is there anything else that you wanted him to write in the letter?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Alright. So, in that case, then he will go ahead and... It'll take a good few minutes. He will go ahead and give you the letter, stamped with the Leviathan logo, with the Leviathan symbol on the wax seal.
Thank you. With this, hopefully we'll make it back sooner than later. And maybe even some extra help along with it.
Probably. Knowing what the events that take place over in Frostgate, probably not. I'm probably not expecting any much help from them with concerning what kind of jobs that they work over there.
Which
fair enough.
Let's see. So, Frostgate is a guard outpost. Essentially, they are there to protect the bridges, just in case if bandits and monsters and other things try to cross over from one side or the other. They're there to protect those bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more of a guard outpost than a place for
than an actual village.
Correct. With that being said, there are settlements and stores there, but the guards there are more so kept there to make sure that nothing crosses from one side of the island to the other.
Right, it's a small encampment, more or less.
Essentially, yes.
Hey, any help is better than none.
Fair.
Well, at the very least, if we couldn't get them to help, maybe we could get them to send word to the other city to keep them on high alert. Because honestly, if things go south enough, chances are the Leviathans are going to have to get involved one way or the other.
Hopefully, it doesn't come to that route.
Hopefully.
But as we saw the other day, doesn't hurt to be prepared. Doesn't hurt to be prepared for the worst.
No.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm gonna go get everybody ready. So, get everybody ready. Let everybody know the plan.
Got it.
Great.
All right.
And Starzin will head to everybody else and start relaying all the information.
Yeah, I'll say you arrive back at that one house that you guys are in last time, before you head off into Everglow Forest.
You know what? Tide looking at this, just reminding the conversation that he had with Starzin. He's actually gonna ask Starzin, do you think you got a moment to talk?
Does this have anything to do with what we talked about a couple days ago?
I'm hoping it does. If not, I may be going crazy.
All right. let's go. Let's head outside and get so we can talk in private.
Got it.
As I start heading towards the back of the house, and just kind of making sure we're, away from earshot at least.
And of course, I follow suit. So, as soon as we're in the clear, nobody else is around, especially no ocean knights.
All right, make it quick.
For last time we were here, I had a dream of that night's events. A lot of things.
Starzin is just going to raise an eyebrow.
At first, it was like pretty much everything was going to happen as it usually would.
Uh-huh.
Then things started changing. I started becoming more self-aware of the things, and eventually I wanted to do a resolve of changing something or something. Maybe get a dream that's more pleasant, of better outcomes, I don't know. But during all this stuff that happened, something... I don't know if I'm going crazy.
Or maybe it's finally the guild getting to you. Keep going.
Maybe. Because I saw an ocean knight kill another ocean knight.
Starzin's just gonna squint his eyes, looking at Tide with suspicion.
It wasn't me that did it. I saw it the far corner of my vision during the whole dream. I don't know if I was going crazy or not, but it was less of like a fight, but more or less like one was trying to confront the other. Before I knew it, he killed them. The one that did the deed killed them and threw him in the fire. And proceeded to act like nothing else happened. Look, the only other person I know other than that were part of my troop, part of my company, was you. Did you see anything? Do you remember or see anything weird like that?
The only thing well, I guess you could consider yourself lucky right now, because I actually did have a nightmare myself where it was more lucid last night. I'm not really remembering a whole lot, but the only thing I really remember that was odd, especially thanks to Iris when she pointed it out, was why you guys were burning the place when supposedly you had a tip for Phoenix Kingdom soldiers.
Yeah.
But while I'm still trying to figure out the process of all of that, which I think I might know which I'm gonna do some digging once I get the opportunity to, but the only thing I remember seeing that struck me as odd, thinking back at it now with a semi-clear head, is there was a soldier. He was wearing a necklace with an insignia on it, and as far as I know, that didn't look like anything related to the Leviathan Empire.
Well, maybe personal religiousness or anything else.
Well, the symbol, I guess you could say it was religious, but it looked more like a cult symbol than anything, but ultimately that's just a gut feeling. Yeah, let's see. It looked, and he's closing, and he's like trying to close his eyes to get his memory back of it. It was a sword. It was a sword with an eye in its crossguard.
Does that sound familiar to me?
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
Okay. I'm gonna use my inspiration to reroll. 16. Does that ring any bells?
It does. So, Mercenary companies are pretty much everywhere in both the Leviathan Empire, the Phoenix Kingdom, and the Land of Tarim. They do various amount of things from escort missions to helping on the battlefield to adventuring and so on and so forth. But there's only one that stands out among the rest due to the fact that one of the warlords owned this mercenary company.
Hmm?
The name of the company is called the Black Blades. Run by the Warlord of Wrath. They pretty much do the despicable things that would definitely go against the Geneva Convention. Basically, they're there to do a job, no matter how dirty the job gets. And most of all, they look for any chance to shed blood on a battlefield. They are bloodthirsty, war-mad mercenaries.
Oh, man.
You know, that's not exactly a religious item, but I do know the one you're talking about. It's a part of one of the merc companies known as the Black Blades. They're specifically as far as to my knowledge, they're specifically working under the Warlord of Wrath, and they are a nasty bunch. They do all sorts of heinous and horrible acts under his payroll.
Roll me a history check, again with advantage.
Oh, advantage this time. Damn it! It's 9.
Unfortunately, that's all you know about them.
Man.
I'm rolling low today.
Today's just not your fucking history day.
You only rolled once! Twice, I mean.
No, he
Four
had
times.
the advantage thing. He had...
I know, but he's saying that he's been roll all day, and I'm like, you only rolled 3 dice.
To be fair, this
No,
is all day so far.
I fuddled with some dice in my hand while everything's going on before our session, and I was not
that's where you
doing
fucked
well.
up.
That's where he fucked up.
The Will Wheaton of this group, I swear. But anyways, that is unfortunately all the information that you got.
Do I remember them being a part of the group in the first place?
No.
And he actually kind of just looks a little shocked. I don't remember them joining the company at all, or briefings, anything. For all I knew, they were not meant to be there.
Starzin's just taking in the information, kind of looking a little frustrated. Kind of more at both at the revelation and both at the lack of information. And he kind of like like that growl that turns into like a scream of frustration. Yeah, that one. Like, that's what he's doing. So,
be angry.
Great. So, this is just great. So not only did the Leviathans did you Leviathans get played like cheap fucking kazoos? Also, there was a mercenary company there that just so happens to be part of the warlord that just happened to burn my home to the ground. Great, wonderful. Everything is fan-fucking-tastic.
This is a fucking nightmare.
Starzin's gonna hear him say that, if you're not whispering it anyway.
No, he's just saying this under his breath of frustration, like you are. Holding his...
He's gonna turn his head and give you the dirtiest glare. Like a massive dirty glare of, you really want to be saying that, bitch? Don't forget who lost what out of that arrangement. He's not actually saying that, but that's what the glare's conveying.
You know what? This time around, instead of Tide looking a little tired or depressed, he actually looks a little angry and frustrated. What? Say it. I could read your face, so say it out loud if you want to be mad at me.
All right. You want to say that this is a nightmare? Need I remind you that I'm the one who actually lost more than you did?
Yes, you are the one that lost. You're the one that lost shit, and lost of all this sort of nonsense. But you're not the only one that lost a lot of shit in this nonsense. You're not the only one. Get that? Your family lost things. Everyone in that village lost shit. And those innocent soldiers got dragged into this bullshit because of all this. I was one of them as well. You're not alone on this damn canoe of a shit show. I got played. I thought I was trying to do good. And look at me now.
Yeah, you were trying to do good. The big and brave Leviathan Knight, doing good by invading and just doing what the kingdom told you. Yeah.
I became a Leviathan Knight to not only help people, to maybe protect people, but also to protect those I love and care about.
How's that working out for you?
Well, right now, kinda shit. And you're gonna blame the whole Leviathan Empire on all this? When it's criminals like them who get to run amok and do whatever shit they want?
Yes, I am. Yes, because like it or not, both the Leviathan Empire and the Phoenix Kingdom brought the war to our doorstep. We didn't want a part of it. But of course, but when we tried to make it clear, it was clear that sentiment was not shared. And so and look what we got for it. I guess this is a great example to show how war really is. Some people are caught in the middle, and then there's the ones that actually wear the uniform and have to live with the consequences of it.
You're talking like this like as if we started the war. That we did, the Leviathan, that the Leviathan Empire wanted all of that shit. We didn't. They started it.
And there it goes.
Started it. Not
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sure. The classic blame game.
Oh. You're sounding like you're with the Phoenix Kingdom. You're sounding like you're with them at this point. That you're wanting to be a part of them. Maybe there were Phoenix members there and you're using the fire to cover themselves up. You know, they can't be burned. So it'll be an easy way for them to hide and run away while we try to find them.
So now you want to justify committing a war crime.
I don't want to justify shit. I want to just be recognized that I lost shit too. That you're not the only one in this problem. I'm a victim. And yet you're here trying to chew my head and ass, like as if I'm the single problem here. That it's my fault. I didn't want any of this. I wanted to protect people. I wanted to protect your people. Look what it got me. Doing mild hunting jobs to pay for my family's lifestyle. Running amok and around with various hunters. All because I had to save. All because of all this. Do I regret it? Do I regret being a Leviathan Empire Knight? No. But I don't regret saving you.
I guess that's another funny difference. I almost wish you hadn't.
He turns as about to leave, but then he looks towards you and goes, how about you say that when you meet your sister and your mother? I want to know what their reactions were when all this is done.
Oh.
Oh no.
Tide's walking away.
Now we're in the back of the house, like behind the house. Starzin, upon hearing that, he's actually gonna punch a hole straight clean through the wall.
That poor house.
Like it is just gonna be like, it is gonna be loud, like a gunshot went off.
That poor house and whoever is living in it. I forgot about.
Well, it's the house. What's the house we were staying in? So it's like one of the rear walls.
You go ahead and you punch a sizable hole into the wall of the house. Definitely startling a couple people that are nearby as you do so.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but jokingly I wanted to think, like, then you hear ow as Iris was on the other side of the wall.
Oh, I mean...
No, Starzin punched it with the good hand.
And I don't... And it's not an ow, it's another sound.
Ah!
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and get the intrusive thought now after the roleplay moment was over. Whenever I heard a lot of we are or we didn't and we did, my brain was constantly singing we didn't start the fire.
Oh, that's great.
And I had so much restraint not to just throw it in there, and I'm happy. Because that was a good moment. I just didn't want to ruin it with just saying that out. Okay, now I'm okay.
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 Now, as that happens, as you all go off to do your various things at night, I'll say this is where we'll take a bit of a break.
Alright.
And we'll be right back after this. And we're back! Alrighty then.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you guys want to do before you take a long rest in Everpeak? If not, we can just go ahead and get straight to the next day.
No, I'm good.
No, I can't think of anything.
I think I'm good. I don't think I want to do anything but do the rest. I don't think there's anything I want to do.
Okay. So, the next morning comes, you prepare yourself to head out once again. How are Tide and Starzin feeling right now?
Kind of shit.
Pissy.
I like to imagine that there's actual static electricity that's just forming between you two.
Honestly, at this point, there very well might be.
Come on, guys. Everything's fine. Lighten up.
Slow metal creaking as as they both turn to look at you.
Oh man, that sounds a little rusty. You might need to take care of that.
Oh, fuck. Two bitches about to die tonight. Alright. So, as you guys are getting ready, I will say, for what Real Zero is gonna do is gonna go ahead and cast Mage Armor on herself. So that way she's a little bit more tanky.
That's a good idea. Because when you have a D6 of health and you don't have any armor proficiencies, Mage Armor's a must.
Mage Armor's fun.
Yeah.
It's like a shield that lasts for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now come on, you two. Get happier. We
What the
don't need
fuck?
frowny faces.
The fuck up.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Be happy.
I mean, around me, there's 2 words that begin with an H. You should always be.
I'm just imagining that.
Listen, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear opinions from from a witch succubus.
Just imagine Zilyana's just in between Tide and Starzin. Just
Why don't
singing,
you want opinions
"Always
from
look
me?
on the
I at least
bright."
look happier than you do.
I don't know why,
Exactly.
but what do I imagine Zilyana being in between Starzin and Tide and just singing, "Always look on the bright side of life."
Alright, so starting from here, go ahead and begin the march towards Ever to Frostgate.
Alright.
Yeah. Alright, so I need somebody to roll me a d20.
I like to do that.
I don't think I should do it because I feel like I'm low and roll this session.
One
Alright, on.
each 20. It is a 12.
Yeah.
12. As you begin to travel, you see Rilzira just focusing on what spells she should maintain and stuff like that. As that happens, you see that she's shuffling through her cards, basically to keep her mind off of things as well. But on periodic moments, you see that she's glancing up at your staff, Zilyana.
Alright. I'll just kind of like, I'll ask her, like, you interested in the staff, or is there something you want to talk about with it? Like, I don't mind to talk about.
It's just that I've never seen anything like this before. Not even the drows from the Underdark have any sort of staff like this before.
Well, this one was specially crafted.
Crafted? Must have a talented spellcaster to craft something like this. What did you make this out of?
I don't remember as a player.
It's from the
Chuadinja.
yeah, the giant,
that
pretty
thing.
much leg spider, all the leg spider.
The spider with nothing but leg.
You definitely did not skip leg day. Okay. I will tell her that information.
Did you at all hand her the staff for her to look at it?
Do I want to? My character would more likely want to keep a good grasp on it.
So-
I would look at it with her, like I would let her touch it, but I'm not gonna letting go of it myself either.
So, as soon as you mention it, she quickly retracts her hand and basically falls on her backside and scurries away about a couple of feet. It's like, you made that out of a what?
Sorry, player wise, that's a funny reaction. I'll just tell her again. I'll say it a second time.
Sorry, it's just, you fought a Chuadinja.
Yeah.
The many-legged nightmare.
Yeah.
What? Were there any drow nearby? Was like?
Do I even remember that as a character? Actually, someone else could answer that one. Probably if we're all riding together.
Two members he would have said it.
There was no drow or anything like that.
Tide actually mentions like, is that thing important? Is that thing dangerously important or something?
Yeah, in drow society, yes. Essentially, what's the upper? What is the above land equivalent to the Chuadinja? How familiar are you with the Kraken?
I think Tide would actually be very familiar. Or at least, I would assume it would be, right?
Roll me a history with advantage.
Okay. Quick question. Just a little bit of a technical intrigue. since I have Eldritch Hunter as a part of the Jaeger, would this technically give me an additional proficiency?
I think a Leviathan is a monstrosity. Or not a Leviathan, a Kraken.
Kraken.
It is a monstrosity, so yes.
Okay. So, I'm just gonna tick the box for my proficiencies real quick, and add advantage. 22!
Alright, so... Krakens are... How do I explain this in the most simple way possible, where it can give as much... So, Krakens are these monstrosities that were created by the... They were created by the god of corruption and evil, Ulk, as a bit of a fun little addition to the world of Primaria. Essentially, these Krakens are evil incarnate. They will sink things indiscriminately. They are very hard to kill, and when you do kill, they don't die. Instead, their soul gets transported and becomes reawakened in a certain amount of days. Basically, the only way to kill a Kraken is if you kill the soul. If you just destroy the soul of the Kraken.
Okay. Tide would immediately, stop with wide eyes and goes, wait, you're telling me this Druidenja is the equivalent to the Krakens in some aspect?
Well, kind of. It depends on how far along their progression is, per se. Most of the Drow civilizations worship the Druidenja as a god of some kind. Very much a cult fanatic. Basically the same way how the Kraken was created, the Druidenja was also created. Meaning, it's a monster that honestly will constantly come back every time. It just depends on how far along their progression. It depends on how strong they are.
He's just shaking his head in disbelief, just looking at the rest of them and goes, and you guys fought something like that?
How big was it?
Yeah. How big was it?
How big was it?
It was like 15 feet tall-ish.
Okay. Because I remember it was like a huge-sized creature. I was just trying to remember what was, it was, kind of how big was it exactly?
Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I think it might have been gargantuan, so 20 feet tall.
Was it gargantuan?
Yes, it was. I just said.
Well, excuse me, GM.
I'll pay fucking attention to my words.
How about you fucking be sure of what you're saying?
Yes,
okay.
It was a gargantuan creature. That's 20 feet.
Yeah, okay. Let me think. Let's see, 1 foot. Probably roughly about 20 feet.
Oh, you fought it in its younger stage.
I'm guessing by the way you're saying that is, they can get a hell of a lot bigger.
Yeah, they sure can. Up to, I would like to say, as you see basically the math flying past her face as she's trying to calculate how big they would be. Probably roughly, they probably get up to either 60 feet tall.
Yeesh. I guess we really did get lucky on that front.
How?
That fight could have been a lot worse.
as a rough estimate, how would that be of a bigger size comparison to a kraken, or at least the biggest kraken that Tide would have read or known?
Basically the same size. Probably longer, because they're more, they're more like octopuses.
They're more length than they are of width.
Yeah. But definitely large. And this is where I'm gonna go ahead and complain about the size category of D&D.
Oh boy, here we go.
My
Ranting
complaint for the size is the fact that no matter how big the context of the monster is, the cap size is gargantuan, which is 20 feet. Which I understand it's fucking big, but if you're gonna put in the flavor text that a Tarrasque is known for eating worlds, it should not be just 20 fucking feet. It should be fucking bigger. And another example is the fucking
called Terra.
And another example is the fucking blob of annihilation that's in the fucking new monster manual. That's gargantuan, and in the picture, it looks like it can eat an entire fucking village. But no, it's only 20 feet tall.
You get it at your system?
For now, at least.
Okay, good.
But yes. So, yes, essentially, they can get pretty fucking tall and large.
Yep. So, yeah, we fought like a 20-foot one, which was about roughly like a juvenile.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, I'm just going off of what was said, so that's my assumption.
Yeah, that's fair. She goes on and basically says, yeah, you got really lucky. They can get pretty big. It also depends on how much blood sacrifices were made to recreate the body of the Chuadenja.
Ugh.
And as she says that, you see as her arm as she puts a hand on her left shoulder.
What?
Guessing you have a bad experience with it.
Yeah, let's just say they're part of the reason why I got out of the Underdark as soon as possible.
I understand.
Understand them.
Anyways, I think we should keep going.
And Stars will just nod, give it, just kind of start motioning everybody to keep moving.
Alright. As nighttime comes around, you set up your tents. Everybody go ahead and mark off a piece of ration from your character sheet.
Gotcha.
I will try and do the same thing as well for Sips.
Man, Clyde's been missing out these past couple sessions.
Well, it's not his fault that there was a storm over him.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, it's no fault of his own, but man, when he hears about this, he's gonna be so pissed. It's like, oh man, I could have been there giving shit for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I did it in his stead, but passively and not as harsh. Come on, guys, lighten up.
Yeah. So, you guys go ahead. Next day comes around. It's another clear day. As you continue to travel forth to the village of Frostgate, go ahead and move up to the village, because at that point you would probably arrive.
Would that be one ration off or two?
One ration.
Okay.
Alright. So, I do need one more roll, just for random encounter, so somebody roll me another d20.
Ooh.
And depending on the encounter, this time might be Burn Dash
Go ahead,
2.
7.
I knew I wanted to do this.
What are we talking about?
You get to the town, You get to the town safely. No encounters that day.
Yeah. Look at that, guys. That helped us get no encounter.
Alright, so you arrive to the village of Frostgate. Frostgate serves as a defense outpost with fortified walls of stone and Aurora steeled accents. Guard towers stand on each corner, offering a sweeping view of the plains and the two bridges. The town is sparse but effective, with well-organized barracks, training grounds, and supply stores. Frostgate acts as a key point of defense for the island, guarding the bridges to and from Everglow and monitoring the potential threats. The town trains local guards and supply protective gear made from Aurora steel to other villages and travelers. And as you arrive, you see the village inn / tavern, the guards rest. You see the general store called the Gates Provision, the blacksmith known as the Steel and Ice, and the temple to. You see a temple to Usi.
All right.
All right.
Down zero to explore.
Well,
Do what you see fit.
Before I guess I go find the letter or anything, do you guys want to do anything here first?
I mean, I was just gonna go try to ask around see where. I think I probably would have started at the tavern, probably, to get information for the Priest of Fiane.
It is a good starting point. That's for sure.
Okay.
So I mean, if you want to, yeah. So if you want to go do the letter thing, we could do that.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and do Tide's thing first. So Tide, you go ahead and you head over to the nearest guard outpost.
Mm-hmm.
Where you see two wave knights sitting at attention with a couple of wind archers up at the top balcony, looking around, keep scouting from above, making sure everything is on the up and up. As you arrive, one of the soldiers say, "Hail there."
Hail there.
What purpose do you have approaching?
I have a purpose of a letter to deliver to at least the closest highest rank commanding officer of the city. It's a request from, making sure I have the town name right, Everpeak.
All right then. He goes ahead and hands out his hand for the letter.
Tide will give it to him.
All right. He will go ahead and march back in, and after a couple minutes later, a well-decorated ocean knight comes out.
All right. I guess Tide, by reflex, will give his salute.
He nods his head and says, "At ease, soldier."
At ease.
So I skimmed over the letter. Heard that Everpeak was raided.
Aye.
And you and supposedly your companions are its saviors.
Partially, yes. At least save what most we could. We fought against the target of the attacks and the creatures that came with them.
I see. Also read the report of who is responsible for it. Do you have any more details that you can provide us with what threats we're dealing with?
Not much. So far, we've only got in contact with 2 of their members. One appears to be a crazed druidic woman. Seems to be, as far as to what our knowledge is the high skill in creating plant-like monsters or creations called blights. Along with it, she apparently has some influence over the woods now, causing anyone to go in there to go into circles, or even turning some of the trees and themselves into monsters.
I see. Well, I mean, nothing much that we can do about that, honestly.
Aye.
At most, what we can do is probably send in a couple of soldiers that are well equipped enough to help with protecting the village of Everpeak. If the defenses there are as low as the statement says. It also says here that you're helping to fix this problem, and you requesting some aid in the way of traveling from here back to Everpeak once your business is concluded.
Aye. There's actually more to report that the message didn't relay. Along with the attack, apparently it did take some civilians and other ocean knights with them. For this captain that they have allegiance with. Unknown of what they are, who they are, their abilities, but so far they seem to be the ringleader in all this.
Well, that is definitely grave news in that matter. Well, we'll see what we can spare. Especially considering that most of our men are out patrolling the ridges, making sure that no bandits or pirates are traversing and commencing highway robbery, so to speak, and also protecting from the local polar bear that might come and attack caravan merchants.
Fair enough. Ty slowly gets an idea. You've had contraband with various criminals in your station, correct?
We might.
Any of use that could be of producing a flame. That seems to be our only way of surpassing this druid and her creations. That is not a part of the request, but it might help.
You basically went up to a fucking police officer and say, "Hey, do you have crack?"
I mean, look, we're running out of common sense options. We're gonna need to go a little bout. We're gonna need to be brave here, and we're gonna need crack for that.
Oh my god.
Well, first of all,
Oh
he
my
fucking
God.
looks at you, just like with he basically raised up his visor, just giving a good look at you, and just squints like. What you're asking me is to give an unnamed soldier contraband that is 100% illegal in the bounds of the Leviathan Empire.
Aye, that is true. And in all likelihood, I don't like doing this either, but so far we're running in circles right now. If anything helps, Ty produces his rank again. It may not be much, but my name is Tide. Did I give him a last name? Thought I did.
Oh no.
I don't know. Did you give Tide a last name?
Nope.
Poor
not on my sheet.
Tide.
God damn. I mean, to be fair, no. Actually, damn, you're the only one without a. Well, besides Sips, of course, but damn, you're the only one that's an actual human that doesn't have that's a humanoid that doesn't have a last name.
Leather bottoms. Wait, Tide. His last name is Pod.
No.
iPod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Peer pressure. Peer pressure. Peer pressure.
Oh my god.
I thought
Why did I
grew up
never
from
make
doing
this connection
joke names.
before?
Well, probably because you didn't have a joke like Mr. Tide and Mr. Pod.
Man, this is wonderful.
Mr. Tide, Mrs. Pod. Jesus. Jeez.
Well, what's his
Mr.
name? What's
Mrs.
the
Pod.
last name? What's the last name, boss?
It's not Pod. Fuck that.
Yes. Pod.
Coward.
Let's What's an ocean he-based last name? I'm either thinking of... Not gonna lie, I'm either thinking of two things. Coral Reef or Bedrock. I don't know why I'm thinking of Bedrock, but that was one of the first ones that came in my head.
But boss pod works because like a pod of dolphins or whatever it is. It's also ocean. I'm not gonna leave it alone. It's also ocean.
The worst part is he's not wrong.
Exactly. It's
Even more cursed.
Fucking hell. Oh my god.
That is the
You know
worst
what?
part, is
You
that
know
I'm not
what?
wrong.
I'm gonna flip a fucking coin and let fate decide.
Do it!
Coral Reef or Pod?
Do it!
I'm gonna call heads being Coral Reef and tails being Pod.
Show him some ass. Show him some ass.
Tails.
Watch him get coral reef.
You know what's funny? Wait, you
What?
flipped a coin? Did you flip a coin, Joe?
Yeah.
I landed on tails with my thing as well!
It gets to be pod!
It's real!
Yeah,
Fate decided. Fate
Kidding.
decided. Commit to the bit, motherfucker.
It's
gonna be
Tide
even
Pod.
funnier. It's gonna be even funnier because I'm. What if I edit all of this out and just when it just like, what's your name? Or like, it's like it shows it like, my name is Tide Pod. Cutting out all of this conversation.
Just leave it out of context.
Yeah.
No.
No,
No,
have it recorded off to the side for the
For the blooper reel.
yeah.
Oh, I
That.
forgot about doing
Wait, the fuck?
bloopers.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. Why is he an
Wow.
NPC sheet now?
What the fuck did you do?
I didn't do anything!
He did everything wrong.
He touched it. That's what
Fucking-
happened.
He
Hang
touched
on.
it.
There we go.
Okay,
Fix.
it's back.
Yeah, I
I
fucking
don't know
fixed
what
it.
happened. I simply typed in the last name on his sheet, and then I went off to another... God damn it. I didn't even touch
Anyways,
his sheet.
Anyways,
Yes.
you fucking sold the show soldier your fucking rank.
I'd put.
Tide Pod.
Yee. I'm
Alright,
more
can we-
ecstatic over this than things.
Can you say that again without these two chuckle fucks in the background speaking over you?
I don't think we're ever gonna... Okay. Tide Pod. God, I hate it. Infantry Company.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. Yeah, just roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. We're gonna go wonderfully well. Okay, it's not an advantage. Good. Not gonna work.
This is like the second happiest moment in my life.
It's
and that's
11?
kind of sad.
I mean, you actually rolled pretty high for a -1.
Yeah.
The Ocean Knight looks at you and basically says, look, I understand that you're doing this for the civic duty to protect these villages from any threats that might come to them, but unfortunately, we do not have the supply. We don't have the contraband that you would be looking for. Mostly because people don't really sell that sort of stuff above land or above the ground.
Mhm. It was worth a try, at least. Thank you, though.
As a word of advice, he goes in and puts a hand on your shoulder. I would recommend you don't ask those questions around other officers. I'm
Sir,
definitely more patient than others tend to be when it comes to contraband of that caliber.
with all due respect and understanding, sir, I would never have asked this sort of question unless in this very specific situation. Trust me, I wouldn't want to ask anyone else of this sort of thing.
He nods at that as he, he lets you be on your merry way.
He gives the salute again as a goodbye. Do I meet you back with the comrades that I've come around with for the transport, or should we be waiting by the exit gate?
Come talk to me when you're ready for the transport, and we'll send a cart and carriage ready for departure at that moment.
All right.
Alright. Flashing back to both Zilyana and Starzin.
Yeah.
You all travel
Regret.
to...
Summons me.
Yeah. You guys said you're going to the inn, correct?
Yeah.
Alright. You go ahead and you head over to the guard's rest, run by a Air Genasi woman who's basically running it. You see that there's a couple of scars on her face. Definitely looks buff in her attire. Definitely looks like a veteran who basically retired and started opening up a bar for both soldiers and civilians.
Muscle mother.
Mummy.
So yes, as you are arriving, there's a lot of people here, from the various tundra dwarves to the ocean and gale archers, taking their breaks as they sit down for a good meal and a cup of ale. You see other civilians chatting amongst themselves and such and such.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna be following Starzin. I'm gonna be following his calls. Because, well...
It's funny because you're the more...
I know.
It's funny because you're the more apt at conversation due to your high charisma.
Yeah, but as a player, I suck at formulating sentences.
The irony.
Like, I can use the charisma to maybe help by doing a little persuasion on the side. He also has a lot more of the knowledge than I do at the moment, because... Yeah.
Because your brain's a little foggy.
It's a little bit.
Mm.
And it won't unfog. It's not woken up yet fully.
Alright.
Oh,
So,
can't say we didn't account for that.
I at least tried.
No, you did.
So this begs the question of what do you guys want to do while you're in the tavern? How do you want to go about getting information?
Okay, well, I think because we're on a little bit of a time frame, I'm inclined to go to the bar and try asking for the information.
Alright, you go ahead and you head up to the tavern owner as she is cleaning off the table with a rag as she sees you walk up as like, welcome to the guard's rest. How may I help you today? Also, would you like a booster seat?
Sort of fucking god, I knew it was gonna happen at some point.
That's so wonderful.
No, I'm good. I guess just something to help keep the bones warm.
I see. Alright then, in that case then. She goes ahead and pours you a glass of... Let me go ahead and look at the table real fast of alcohol.
Just a glass of orange juice.
The booster seat, oranges. Okay, now you're starting to become condescending.
I have some coloring book and some crowns. If you want some?
Oh well, I won't say no to that.
Fucking raises his hand. I want to connect the dot book.
Adventurous pirates. We sail out to sea. Can I have a coloring book? Can I have a polka dot?
Alright,
Oh,
so
world jingle.
she goes ahead and gives you a glass of Everglow spiced wine.
That actually, I'm not gonna lie, that actually sounds pretty good. Thank you.
And for you, ma'am?
I will take the same thing.
Alright. Goes ahead and hands you a cup as well. That'll be 1 gold for the bottle.
I'll pay it.
For
Alright.
just the bottle.
It's like a wine
Like
bottle.
How many?
And he'll take a good sip of it.
How many bottles do they have in stock?
Enough.
Enough. That's sure it's a tavern.
Anyways, what were
Alright.
we about to say, Starzin?
Well, after taking a sip, he also he kind of sucks down the glass and just kind of hands over the gold, but also kind of asks, "Hey, so have you happened to see a do you happen to know of any priests of Fiane in this village?"
Priest of Fiane, let me see here. It's been a while. He used to come by on occasions, probably once every 2 weeks or some sort. Old man, kind of an old elven man kind of deal. Yeah, he comes around here sometimes. Why do you ask?
We've come to seek his guidance. Something relating to the forest over by Everpeak.
Don't really know much about the man. He tends to buy tea from every so often whenever he comes by instead of alcohol. I think I heard that he tends to peruse the market square or the general goods store. Probably ask the owner there, see if they have any more information.
I see. Thank you.
No problem.
I want to slide the money, however much it costs, to pay for his next time of getting tea, and just in case we do miss out on him somehow. I wanna pay for his next thing of tea and just be like, if you can, next time he comes by to grab some tea, can you let us know he's got some people looking for him to talk with them?
Sure. The usual that he normally gets is basically the cheap stuff that's like 5 copper.
All right, I'm gonna buy that for him.
All right. Well, whenever he comes by, I'll go ahead and say that was paid for.
All right, thank you. Right, now we're going to the market square, right?
Yeah, we can head to the market square. Sips, Rosira, if you guys want to stay here at the tavern and wait, more than
Okay.
welcome to.
In case he does come here.
They both nod their heads at that. They will wait in the tavern for you guys to show back up.
Shall we, Cap?
Yes.
Alright, let's get going. As we head towards the general store.
All right. I would say at this point you would probably catch Tide heading towards the tavern as you guys are leaving.
Tide?
Starzin. I managed to get them the letter. They're willing to at least give some amount of supplies and some backup for the town. Other than that, and a quick transport back, I think we're mostly on our own.
What else is new? Wouldn't be
What's
the
new on
first.
your end, then?
Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time we've had to deal with something on our own.
Well,
We're gonna head to the general store to see if we can pick up a lead.
Mind if
The other two are inside.
Would either of you mind if I come along?
I'm gonna point at Starzin, like, that's up to him. In this situation, I decided to follow along with him.
If you must.
Since my character has no idea what happened, like, cheer up, everyth's fine.
Would you like to roll an
Yes.
insight?
Sure! Yeah! Let me... Oh god, my sheet. Please stop. Okay. Insight. That is a 12.
Well, it's up to them. What does a 12 give Zilyana?
I don't want to cover it up.
Creepah,
or
do you
not.
wanna?
I'll say Starzin isn't really particularly hiding his frustration and somewhat annoyance with Tide at the moment.
Tide's not exactly hiding it. He's more or less trying to be more professional in most senses, but there is that lingering sense of tension and, I guess, apprehension.
Yeah, I guess that would be. It's like she would definitely see that there like things are very tense, but we're trying to remain civil.
See, I don't know what kind of full-on tense I would guess, because my character has no context of the fight and argument that happened. So my character is gonna go with the first thing that she can think of, very impulsively, and just looks to you both like, you guys need to get a room and like sort this shit out, and maybe get it over with. I don't know.
Wow. How on brand.
Do you guys need a fuck or something?
You know what? I can't even be mad. That's actually on brand for Zill's character.
That is on brand.
that's perfectly makes sense, and that's the thing you'd immediately get to.
I know, I told you, without the context of why you guys are this way, it's like the first thing that would come to mind. It's like, do you guys like
I love it.
need to get
I
a
love
room?
it. It's great.
Is there some sexual frustration that's not being let out here? You guys need to just go to the inn and fuck it out and come back afterwards or something. You know you did a good job when the players can't react to it.
Honestly, the thing I love the most about it is it's so perfect, so perfectly on brand.
Yeah, it kind of is on brand. And I'm just like, I'm trying to process of how Tide would process that. I'm thinking I need a process for my PC to process.
I know how Starzin would take that information, but I'm too busy losing it.
You know you did a good job when you're so in character the players don't know how to process what the fuck to respond with.
Oh
What the
my god.
Oh,
Was that a yes?
Captain?
no, firstly, I'm married with a loving partner. So no.
That doesn't stop some people.
No.
Zilyana, trust me. The only thing that he would be getting from me is a
Use your words carefully.
I'm trying to process. The only thing he would be getting from me is one hell of a left hook in his jaw. If I wasn't trying to be professional and civil right now.
I'm gonna put my hands up, and then basically like the washing my hands of this. But the last statement's like, you know what? I'm not gonna judge. Some people are into that.
You know what? Tide astonished by all this, and he looks at Stars and goes, "You deal with this every day."
More times than you would probably care, than you'd probably want to know. As he just like is pinching the bridge of his nose with his metal hand.
You know what's
Wow,
ironic?
I'm
feel
so
like that
hurt. I'm being dealt with.
Crushing his nose in the process.
Tide would actually be mirroring on like the pinching the bridge of his nose as well. It's like,
like Starzin's just having a moment when he's not doing it with his real hand, he's doing it with his metal hand.
after he's done, there's a nosebleed.
Zill, we'll talk about this later tonight.
All right. I hope you have a great story of how it went.
I swear to the gods.
I think I'm not gonna come. I think I'm just gonna stay in the tavern.
As he just mumbles that under his breath, he just walks towards the general store.
Alright.
Tide is just
I'm
gonna
just
go
gonna come along with.
Alright, so, Tide, you head into the tavern. You see the girls there. They're enjoying some drink, talking amongst themselves as Starzin and Zilyana, you make your way to the general goods store.
Tide is ordering the strongest drink he can get.
Strongest drink, you say?
Oh god, here we go again.
Yeah.
Well, no, we need to be professional. How about the strongest drink that won't get him plastered?
No, commit to the bit.
Get drunk. If your character would do it, then your character would do it. It's up to you.
No, my character wouldn't.
Aww.
I'm seeing it from Tide's point of view. It's like, this is a time crunch. We need to get things done, but he needs some sort of alcohol in his body to process whatever the hell happened there.
They have a thing
Like a
called
true alcoholic.
they have a thing called a snow tip cider.
He'll take that.
All right. It tastes sweet, a little bit fruity. Definitely a huge hit on the alcohol department, as it does come in strong, but it settles down on a sweet taste after a bit.
You know what? Approved.
All right. So as you are drinking your snow tip cider, Starzin and Zilyana, you head to the Gates Provision.
Yeah.
From there, you actually see a forest gnome manning the front desk of the general goods store. As you walk in, it's like, "Oh, welcome to the Gates Provision. How may I help you?"
I love this voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I am so glad he didn't eat anything, because I would have spit that out.
How may I help you?
Yes, we heard from the tavern over at the guards rest that there was a priest of Fiane frequents your store often.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Thorlrin.
Yes. So that's his name. We were looking for him. There was things happened over in the village of Everpeak. Something related to the forest, and we're looking for him to seek guidance, information, anything that would help us.
Oh, now that you mention it, it has been a while since I've last spoke to him. A couple days, in fact. Which normally that wouldn't be long if you're just here for groceries, but we tend to chat a bit.
So you two know each other pretty well then, huh?
Oh, yeah. Uh, I was, well, I'm a follower of Fiane myself.
I
As he
understand.
goes ahead and pulls out the symbol of Fiane, which is basically a white flower surrounded by arcane runes around it.
Hmm. Well, so he hasn't been seen for a couple days.
No, I honestly didn't think much of it until you brought it up. I thought he was just, coming down with a sickness.
Do you know where he lives?
Yeah, I know where he lives. Let me go ahead and get you a piece of paper, and then let me write down the address. As he goes ahead and hops down from a stool that he was standing on, and just to the back room.
Oh, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. You don't want to make a mess.
Whoa!
That sounded twice.
I wasn't ready for that.
I didn't want to spill. I didn't want to spit out my food.
I had a different intrusive thought whenever you mentioned like the sickness of like is they about to sing the song down with the sickness.
Alright, all you have to do is just follow these directions, and here is the address. As he go ahead and slide a piece of paper over to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you find him there, please let me know if he's doing alright or not. I'll try and stop by with some remedies if he's sick.
We'll do.
Very good, very good. Well, is there anything else you need?
Let me take a look around just to be sure.
Alright. It's basically the same general stuff that you would get. Just honestly
At the general
nothing
store?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look to see if there's anything that I think I might need for one reason or another. Let me take a look at my bag of holding real quick. Make sure I've got things I need there. Okay, yeah, I think I could reasonably work with that. Yeah, okay, I got it. So I'll take 2 bottles and a ration. Which that will be, I believe. Well, let's see, where's the bottles at again?
What's that a ration?
2 gold, so that'll be 4 gold, and I believe, so 4 gold plus 5 silver pieces. Yeah, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
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 So let me remove that. So I bought 2 bottles and a day's worth of rations, in addition to everything else.
Alright. Let's see here. Okay. He goes ahead and backs up for you.
And I hand him the payments. Thank you.
He nods at that as he goes ahead and puts the gold in a safe box as you head out.
Alright. Okay, now that we've got that done, we just need to head to this address and see if we can't get some and see if we can't see about meeting this guy. What was his name again?
He said Mr. Tholorin.
Mr. Tholorin. Okay.
Thalorn. Tholorin.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good. All right. So I guess me and Zill will follow the directions to the address.
All right. You go ahead and you follow along the streets as you continue to march. You notice that as you walk through this town, it is quite similar to how the military was in Whitestone back in Silvervein. And the way how there's more guards patrolling the streets, it's definitely more militaristic. And as you basically head over to the housing district area of this village, and you arrive to this, it's not a big house per se. It's definitely a modest-sized house, basically fit for one person, maybe. Probably with the size of it, probably just a living room, a single bedroom, with a kitchen that's connected to the living room per se. Something that's like, yeah, it's a small size living arrangement. But as you get close to it, what is everybody's passive perception? By everybody, I mean the two that are there.
Mine's 12.
I've got a 14.
Okay. Alright, you both see this then.
Oh shit.
So, as you guys as you begin to walk up the path that leads to the front door, you notice that, for one, the door is basically skewed open a little bit. You notice that there are some dents in the sides of the door as well. Very small dents, probably a little bit unnoticeable to most people, but you quickly clock it in like, oh, okay, somebody did some damage to the door. And as you walk, so basically you see the door, it is slightly open with a couple of dents in the door.
Yeah. That's suspicious.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I do too.
You think we should send for the others?
I think it would not hurt, but time is also of the essence, and, well, we kind of need.
I know. All right. Well, if we want to, then let's get it. Let's go ahead and go in.
I think that's what we need to do in this case.
All right, I'll go first. And he's also gonna, and Rivet, who's just been riding on his back, he's just gonna tap him and just say,
I can send Stitch in first.
"You want to do that?"
Yeah! I want to send Stitch in first and be viewing through his eyes.
All right.
Alright.
Because I can do that, right? Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you can do that. So you go ahead and you have Stitch slide in through the cracks of the door. Go ahead and have him roll a stealth check.
He's good at that.
As she's doing this, I'm telling Rivet to stay on high alert.
Yes, father.
He rolled a 22.
So Stitch just starts Pink Panthering just into the room.
That's fucking wonderful.
Part of me wants to play that song, but I know we'll get copyrighted.
Yeah, we absolutely will.
Anyway, so you begin to wander on in. You go ahead and see through the eyes of Stitch as he begins to flap around the area as stealthily as he possibly could. And you see that this room that you're in is definitely the living room area. You see a stone brick fireplace that looks like the flames have died out for quite some time, based off of how cold the firewood has been and hasn't been replaced, and how burnt out the wood is. But on top of that, you notice that some of the furniture has been tipped over and a little bit skewed. You see that one of the pokers for the fireplace is actually on the ground. Sorry, not on the ground, on the wall. Like it was basically shoved into the wall. But on top of
shit.
that, you also see some bits of splatterings of blood. Not a whole lot to be concerned, but definitely something got cut or nicked or something like that, and blood basically got sprayed a couple of places.
Ooh, shit. Alright. I will be relaying this back to Starzin.
This is definitely not good. Is the room clear? Nobody inside?
So far by what I can see, no.
Alright. You think it's safe for us to lock in?
I do think so.
Alright. I'll go in first. As he just carefully walks in with Rivet, with him making sure that Rivet's still on high alert, just keeping an eye out for anything that looks out of the ordinary.
Okay. So you begin to walk on in, and as the crack of the door opens up and the light pours into the room, you can definitely see the telltale signs of a struggle. There was definitely combat that took place in this house based off of how things are shifted around with the furniture and the footprints, along with some of the splatterings of blood that you see. There was definitely a bit of combat that happened.
This definitely looks like a mess.
Almost.
Starzin's gonna look around to see if there's any, if it looks like there was. Does it look like there's a trail of a struggle, like blood that trails off to an area or something?
Roll me an investigation check.
Got you, fam. Investigation. Oh, that's a nat 1. All right, I'm gonna spend my inspiration or take the 20. I'm gonna spend my inspiration.
All right.
That's a sad number.
Then in that case, then that would be a 21.
Yeah.
All right. So you see a bit of a trail. It's not that big, like a few droplets that go from here and there. It's definitely based. Roll me a medicine check as well. I'm gonna say with advantage due to your investigation.
Well, double 12. Jesus. Every single time you have me roll, I just want to say this. It seems like for the last several times I've had to roll advantage, it's been to the same number, as if Lady Luck is trying to say, nah, fam, you need to do this legit.
It is legit. I fucking told him that it's with advantage. It's fine. Go on my back, woman.
Anyways, continue.
So you go ahead and you look at the ground, at the blood. It kind of looks like somebody got clocked in the nose and their nose began to bleed, and it just basically dripped out like that. And some of the blood that is on the walls, it looks like somebody got scratched with something sharp. And as you look at the poker that's lodged in the wall, you could definitely see, and as you, do you pull it out?
Yeah, I will pull it out.
As you pull it out, you see bits of skin that just got torn off. It would appear that somebody used this to basically try to scare them, and they got out of the way, but only got cut. You probably don't know where they would get cut, but they definitely took some skin off. And as you investigate further into the room, you can definitely see signs of a struggle on the ground. And you definitely see that the rope was involved, as you see a cut bit of rope laying down on the ground. It would appear that they had a little bit too much extra, and they just cut it off.
I see. But it doesn't particularly lead anywhere else to the house.
It does. It does lead to essentially the back door area, which, based off of where this is positioned, it leads directly out into the. Well, it doesn't lead directly out. There's a couple of houses before that, but it is close to the edge of the village.
Alright. I'm gonna walk to the back door and open it and see if there's a trail that, like, indicates a struggle of someone being dragged.
You're done with the same investigation roll. You don't really see anybody being dragged, per se. It looks like that whoever came in, had the fight, basically tied up the victim, and left through the back door.
So no trail, like, even, like, out the back door, like, in the ground kind of thing?
Roll me a survival check.
Alright.
I will warn you, the DC will be high.
Okay, so nothing short of a nat 20 is gonna save me here.
Well, I guess it depends on the modifier, but...
Yeah, no, it's not happening. That's another nat 1.
all you see is a blanket of white snow. But I will say, with your typical knowledge, this would normally indicate that either A, they have a way to stay above ground, or B, it's been a couple of days to where the snow basically covered the tracks.
Right, so either they flew out, or this is old. And, well, we know he hasn't been seen for a couple days. How old am I, with my medicine check, am I able to gauge how old the bloodstain is? Like, if it's dried, like, basically to see how dried it is. Like, does it look like it's been there for a long time, or does it look like it's been fairly recent?
Roll me another medicine check.
Okay. 17.
Based off of how dried the blood is, it would appear that it would have happened probably roughly between 2 days to a week.
Oof. Yeah, so we're way behind.
It's hard to tell the time frame of blood in increments of days, per se, so that's basically the time frame of when it happened to the minimum to the maximum amount of days.
Honestly, I think I feel like that would be a very generous guesstimation of, like, oh, it's this dry, so it could have been 2 days ago, could have been a week ago, but it's old. So, yeah.
Correct.
I actually think that's good.
Although, technically speaking, you did get a time frame. The gnome at the journal store did say he hasn't come by in about 2 days or so.
This is true. So we know this happened at most 2 days ago.
Yes. Zilyana.
Yeah.
Going off of that investigation roll, you go ahead. Do you explore the rest of the building?
I would like to, yes.
So, as you explore the rest of the building, you basically head over to the basically to the bedroom area, and when you open it up, you see... Obviously, this man doesn't live in luxury. You just see a mattress on the floor with a table on one side containing, like, holy scriptures, like a Bible of some kind.
Yeah.
But something does stick out to you. Like trying to hide dirt under a carpet. You see a bump showing under the mattress. Definitely human-sized.
Is he in the mattress? Or is he dead in the mattress?
Well,
you walk over and find out?
You know what? Sure.
You walk over and you flip over the mattress, and you definitely see a dead body. However, it would appear that this body is orcish in nature, where everybody else basically said that he was a half-elf. If I didn't say it before, he was a half-elf.
No, we heard you there. So, we already know this isn't him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means we know that he fought with someone here, and that he One.
or whoever was here just hid the body here.
True.
I mean, you're the one looking at it, so Starzin's like still investigating like all the other little bits and pieces around the house.
Starzin, come take a look at what I found.
Ugh. Hopefully something with some good news. And oh, that's a body.
Yeah, but the good news is it's not the body of the person we're looking for.
I guess. Well, you got me there.
Hey, Starzin, you want to see a dead body?
I almost played the soundboard. I had restraint. And not much.
You could press it. We could say Stitch said it.
Okay.
Hey kids, want to see a dead body?
Oh my god.
Anyway,
It works even more because Starzin looks like a child.
Fuck up. Alright. Starzin basically looks at it and kind of... Well, let's see. And it looks like he was just shoved under the mat, was he under the mattress or in the mattress?
Under the mattress.
So he was under the mattress, but he was like on the bed frame?
No, the mattress was on the ground. There was like no bed frame.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where I was kind of a little confused when you brought the whole
And like
human-sized mound on under the mattress. It was like, okay.
It was basically the guy. Basically, the priest didn't have he just had a mattress. He placed it on the ground and just slept on it like that.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. He's gonna take a look at the body and just kind of look for like anything that's like kind of relatively identifying.
You go ahead and you look over his body, and you definitely see the similar. It's not as grown, but you definitely see bits of the red wood that was on both Gormash and the Druid.
no, I don't like it anymore.
Great. Just great. So it was these guys that were here too.
Brother, should I report to the others and bring them here?
He Starzin just looks at Rivet and just says immediately.
As he flies
As
off.
yeah, I just imagine like his little mechanical insect wings just kind of start flapping really hard as he just flies out.
Just the clink propeller comes out.
Well, the way I designed him is like the back of him is.
No,
it's
I'm
more
just,
like
I'm just joking. I'm not being serious.
You pull a fucking wire like it was a lawnmower to activate his flight.
Oh my god. That's funny. I like that. I like that more than I usually thought I would. That's a funny little idea.
Fuck. So, I'm gonna say time passes a little bit. Rivet comes over to, Tide and, the rest and says, Father found a dead body. He doesn't say that, but he definitely gets your attention.
I was about to say Tide does a spit take, but okay.
all the guards look.
Oh,
Okay.
dead body, you say?
He'll assemble those that are in the tavern to among the group to follow Rivet with him.
Yeah, it's a bit of a walk, but you finally make it over to where the location's at. as you hear the sounds of your as Starzin and Zilyana hear the sounds of your companions make their way into the door and into the living room.
Starzin, Zilyana, I hope this is actually good news and you found that's a dead body.
Well, I wish I could say this was good news, but there really isn't much good news. Although there is a silver lining.
Is this the man you were meant to collect information from?
Well, that's our silver lining. It isn't. But don't go thinking that we're off, that everything's all peachy, because this guy's affiliated. Looks like he's got the same wood attachments that druid and Gormash had. So I think it's safe to say that whoever invaded this guy's home and more than likely abducted him is in league with them.
Great.
By the way, can I do a medicine check to see how this orc would have died?
Sure. Go right for it.
That's a really, really cool idea to do. How did he
16.
die?
You look around, you really don't see much in the way of injuries per se, but as you get to the neck, you see that his neck was snapped.
Ugh. Well, at least we know. Well, at least I can safely say the poker wasn't used on him all that much.
As you inspect that, you see Rilzira go ahead and go into her backpack as she pulls out some goes ahead and pulls out some incense and starts lighting them next to the dead body.
Any reason for the incense, or?
One, to mask the smell of the dead, but also because, well, we have a lead. We might as well use it. I am going to go ahead and communicate with it.
Clarify, communicating with him. I don't mean to sound insensitive, but he's already dead.
She just looks at you and just blinks. Blink. Blink.
Blink. Blink. Blink.
She just slowly turns her head over to the other two spellcasters.
I'm gonna give 2 blinks for I know.
Starzin's just gonna have his eyes fall back to the half-hooded, like where his eyelids are like halfway closed to his eyes, and blink a couple times of like, yep, we got an unspellcaster.
Well, if you must know, some spellcasters, such as bards, druids, clerics, wizards, well, probably not druids, bards, clerics, wizards, and myself, can use a little special spell called Speak with Dead.
Huh. Well, that's neat, I guess. But will we be able to... Okay, you can now speak with him, I guess, past his... I wouldn't say prime. Expiration date? Yeah. Expiration date would be more accurate.
Essentially,
But
as soon as I cast the spell, we will have 10 minutes to talk to it. Within those 10 minutes, we can ask 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages that it knew, which, let's hope that it knows common, but considering that it was a part of a pirate crew, we're going to assume yes. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive, depending on the corpse itself. And the corpse is under no compulsion to offer the truth if you are hostile to it, or recognizes you as an enemy. But, considering the fact that the only enemies that we've encountered were Gormash and the Druid, I don't think he would recognize us based off his sight.
Oh, here's hoping.
As she goes ahead and place the incense around the body, as she goes ahead and pulls out her cards and begins shuffling, in a clockwise position, placing each card down, face up, until the final one gets placed above the head of the orc, which is the all too familiar corpse card that you drew, Tide.
Spirit, hear me now. We ask for thee 5 questions to help aid us with matters of the immortal world. We give you this time to speak.
As her eyes begin to glow an ethereal green color, as the symbols from each... Basically, symbols on the card begin to glow and surround the corpse as its eyes begin to light up, and its jaw begins to unhinge itself and move back into its normal position.
Ready.
Ty's just looking to you two to see if you want to start.
Good.
I can't think of how to start this because I know if I mess up, it's a mess up.
So, I guess Rosary's looking at us, waiting for us to ask.
Yep.
Okay. Who are you?
All red, white, bang.
Oren Whitefang.
And as that happens, one of the 5 incense that were around the body flickers out.
Okay, so we got a name at least. What were you doing here?
Kidnapping the priest. Information to get to tempt.
Another incense flickers out, 3 remaining.
Why do you need inside the temple?
It does not know how to answer that question.
Damn.
Another incense flickers out.
Okay.
Well, we got 2 left, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we need to make them worth.
Man.
I have one suggestion, but with the name we have, we might be able to get a lead.
Well, what are you suggesting?
Just
Their captain.
huh?
Their captain.
Oh,
Who's their captain? You know.
yeah.
All right.
Who is your captain?
Morana Vilstrix.
Morana Vilstrix.
Another incense flickers out. 1 remaining.
We need to find out where they took him.
More than
We find out
likely,
they're hiding. Yeah, no. Wait, what about the last hiding place? They might have left some information there.
at their hideout.
Their old hideout, they probably are in the center of the forest as far as we know. But their old hideout might have left some clues. I mean, we can't ask him how they got into the forest. He probably doesn't know.
Well, I don't know if we could really. I don't know if that's actually a question that would be good to use.
I'm fair, but I'm suggesting things. Right now we have him. He knows that. We know his name. We know his captain. We know that they took the priest alive at least.
Yeah, but where?
That's the more difficult part.
And he may not know that one.
He may not know.
The only thing I'm inclined to ask is if it knows how he died, because, well, and hear me out when I ask this, but the reason I'm thinking that is because we know that Gormesh and the Druid, whenever they took damage, there was substantial evidence of wood over them, like almost like it was like part of them.
Yeah.
And you're wondering how he died so that we could replicate it?
More like, because this is what I'm thinking. Like there's a possibility that they have an unnatural strength, and if not killed the proper way, they could just shake off the blow, more or less, is what I'm saying.
Gormash did get back up, and on top of that, when I shot the druid, she practically regenerated.
I will say,
pathetic.
all I will say though, Gormash did get knocked out unconscious. He did not die.
Ah, fair enough.
I mean, I know that, but still.
Wait, this is a better question. What about the owlbear? I killed the owlbear. But you said last session, if I remember correctly, it escaped with Gormash, or at least got dragged into the ground.
It did.
I did say that, yeah.
So they must have salvaged it, or somehow.
Well, there's a bit of plausible deniability there, but we'll save that for later things. Do you want me to ask? Do you think that's a good question to ask? Though?
Maybe, but it could also be nothing. We don't know.
Well, it's either.
The other best leads we have is where they last were gathered, or their last hideout, or the way how he died. Both could leave us to some form of clues to gather better. One to handle them better, or one to handle where they might have went and how they got there. It could also potentially lead us to where they might have left the priest.
Well,
Yeah.
if you ask how he died, we may not learn where the priests went at all, and we'd be at a dead end.
That is true. I mean, I know, but I'm also kind of thinking that if he did die here, then he probably wasn't told where to take it, if anything else. But
I don't see where that's. Well,
this is just in the event that they were taking him to a drop-off point to throw someone off their trail in case they were being followed.
I mean,
That's my thinking.
fair enough, but that's also why I said their last hideout. All of them would have known where their last hideout place would have been. They wouldn't have made it like a secondary drop-off point or anything.
Well, I'm also
If
going to
they
say
had
that it doesn't
several
seem
dozens
likely.
hideout where they spread out so thin that they practically have several dozens of hideouts. But at that
Okay,
point,
we don't. Okay, first of all, we don't even know that much.
Yeah,
We don't even know if they have more than one hideout, or even if they
That's
moved
true.
it.
and we don't
So-
know how big they are. They could
So
be
I
small.
also that's why you're also throwing me off there. It's because it's like we don't even know that dude.
There's a lot we don't know.
Okay. Let's take the priorities. Do we want to know how to kill them better and beat them, or do we want to know where they're do we want to know a lead to where they are at, or how they got there?
I think we need to lead to where they're at, because in reality right now our goal is to find the priest. Without the priest, we're not even going to get into there to kill them.
True. Well, you got me there.
And who's to say the priest doesn't know how to kill them?
You know what?
obviously did
You also
one.
got. You know what? You also got me there. Well, okay. We also don't know that for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. How do we know or we don't know? The answer is we don't until we find the priest and
Ask the
ask.
question.
All right. So, where's your hideout, or where's your last known hideout?
Probably that's the best question we can ask. Either where's your hideout, or where's your last known hideout.
Or where's the location of the priest?
Where were you meant to gather on this island?
Well, not
Or-
location
no,
of the
no, no,
priest.
not that. No, he could have just said in the center of the forest.
Okay. So where is your hideout? So that good?
I
am conflicted, but I mean, it'll be the best
You know
we
what?
got.
Can
Yeah.
I go ahead and say, how about we let Zilyana ask this?
I have no objection to it if that's
I
What
don't
she
object
so
to it
desires.
either.
Alright. Hands together. Gonna sit here and just be like... Okay, let me formulate the question properly, because I know it matters. Okay, so my question will be... I can't combine 2 and 1 questions either, can I? Actually, I don't know if I can. Can I do that? Like, no.
Depends on how you phrase it.
In your plan, where was it to take the priest, and what were you to do with him upon reaching the location? Which is the 2 and 1, which I don't think is acceptable. But if I was to ask any of those 2, I would basically ask, where in your plan are you supposed to be taking the priest?
Ancient ruin of Yea, outskirts of island, south of here. Day travel, cold as fuck.
At least he's honest.
And as he answers that, the final incense flickers away as the glow in both the eyes of Rilzira and the corpse fade away. As you see Rilzira just blinking her eyes rapidly, like, oh god, that never gets old. Oh, it's like staring into like a candle. That's candlelight for much longer than you want to. Anyways, did we get the information that we want?
We got his name. We know that he was responsible for kidnapping the priest and taking him to an ancient ruin to the south, on the outskirts. Was it the outskirts of the island or the village?
He did say a day's walk.
Island.
A day's walk, so probably outskirts of the village. Sorry, I was trying to make sure I'm recalling the information and writing it down.
Cold as fuck.
You don't forget that information.
Yeah. Taken to ancient temple, a day's walk. Captain, who was the captain again?
Morana. And open up the fucking
Viltrix?
notes.
Viltrix?
Yeah, Vilstrix.
Vilstrix. Okay.
Vilstrix. Okay, so his name was Balrin Whitefang, right?
Balrin Whitefang. Yep.
Balrin. Okay.
Balrin Whitefang.
Kidnapped. We know he kidnapped them. Needed him for the temple in Everglow Forest. Took him to ancient temple, a day's walk, and his captain is Morana Vilstrix.
A ruined temple of Fiane.
Ruined temple. Okay.
Yeah.
So not the one in the center of the forest?
You can have
That's
multiple
the
temples.
temple. I think this is the ruin temple. He's the ruin.
You can have multiple temples.
I mean, yeah, but I meant is okay.
Okay, I got that down.
All right. Well, that gives us an idea of where we need to be looking, but the question is where, though?
Well, we know that from what he said is the temple's a day's walk to the south. So I'm assuming we have to go. So I'm assuming that it has to be close to Frostgate, southward.
Potentially, yeah.
Maybe
And it can't be too far away from here.
Or it could be northwards.
we could ask some of the locals. Maybe they would know. I mean, if it's an ancient ruin, maybe they have a landmark or something like that.
Yeah, but too bad that the priests were meant to meet here probably would have known. But there's not many more of those followers of the Ain around.
Wait. No. The shopkeeper. We can go to him. He's a follower of Fiane, and he would know.
You mean a random shopkeeper would that follows the Ain would know?
Well, he and the priest talked very often, and he frequented the shop. And plus, he's the only as far as I know, that's the only follower that we have that may actually know what this means. And plus, since he knows the priest, maybe the priest told him one of their conversations while he shopped there.
That might be a true case, yeah. Actually, that might be our best lead yet. If he probably may have known about this ruined temple in the past.
More than likely, and that's our best. And so far as I see, that's our best and only lead to do this, to get there quickly.
Okay. How about some of us go and go through that shopkeep and gather them intel. We'll meet up at the Ocean Knights guard post. I'm gonna go tell them about this place and the body and what's going on.
All right, you can go ahead and head over there. I think me and Zil can run over to the shopkeeper and see if we can't get some information there.
I'm also probably going to ask them about this Morana Viltrix. Maybe she might have a bounty or something.
Good idea.
Maybe.
Alright. As you lot split up once again, one going to the guard barracks to inform the Leviathan Empire, the Tempest Militia, about the kidnapping and the death of an orc inside of a house, while they go as the others go off to ask more questions to the gnome that follows the word of Fiane. This will end tonight's session.
Oh man.
Oh, things are getting more tense now. This is not just some sort of random pirate attack. This is organized as hell.
Organized crime.
I mean,
yeah.
Buddy.
I mean, yeah. Kind of figured it was going to be organized around the second encounter with the fucking druid.
Alright.
I was like, yeah, there's no way this is random.
Alright, so starting off with Zilyana, who do you vote for?
I mean, I've done this a few times, but I tried to steer away from it. I'm gonna do myself for trying to lighten the mood and make some funny moments out of a serious one.
Make some funny ha-has, alright.
Yeah, with the role play.
I can allow that. Starzin, who do you vote for?
Me. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna vote for Zil.
What would bosses be, at least?
Starzin.
Because of course he would have.
I'm surprised you're not picking boss for the interaction with between you two.
I'm also surprised at that. I thought you would have.
I'm not.
Wow. You know what? Now that you say that, you're getting the vote now. I'm changing it.
I'm fine with that.
My reason, petty. My reason, pettiness.
That's a three-way tie. Alright, that means I get to choose. You know what? I'm gonna say boss, you win this one. Because, for one, there was a moment where you weren't taking any of Starzin's shit, and you kind of stood up for yourself. I like that. And also, I gave you secret information.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, that doesn't count.
Eh. Counts in my book. I'm the one who made the rules.
Look, you may make the rules, but degenerates like you belong on a cross.
As we go ahead and roll for Lady Luck. And today's lucky winner is Zilyana.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to show Lady Luck I don't need the inspiration.
I need to show that I do.
I need to listen. I need to prove that I can do it just fine, so that so that Joe can stop bitching at her, and she can continue to fondle my balls.
Brilliant. Well, anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching the latest episode of Primordials Bounty. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do subscribe, follow, leave a like or a comment, and I will talk to you guys next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Tune in next time for some Primordials Noir.
Wow.
Yeah? Bye.